Hey, what's up, Dean? Safe Performance. And we are at shop on a Sunday. Today is the 4th of December. So we have been plugging away. First, we got Jesse's wastegate stuff all done. All the tubing to tie bolt in. So you can kind of see it there. Comes up, over, and across into the driver's side. Passenger side ties in, and then it goes up and out. So the end result looks like that. And then I took a filed all the edges, so you got no finger slicer 9000 going on there. Started kind of sorting through what I did with the inputs outputs. I wrote them all out on that page, so I'm going to start getting those worked out. I got a new internal harness coming for the transmission. Um, yeah, but the other side of it is I can't put the car down. I put that giant pile of material in the way, but now that pile's cut down roughly in half because I have been working my ass off to get this frame done. So I got all of these in. That piece is just resting up there, which is a little sketchy because it wobbles and shakes. But I started on these today. I'm gonna get the rest of these knocked out today. Then I got the rest of the hoops over there. Bunch of legs over there. So once this frame is all welded together, this is the base. And then on the top, it gets kind of, you can see the curve over there. Don't mind all of the tape because like that was the diamonds I made. That curve over there, take away the 90-degree corner, will kind of be the dome top. So that curve will go straight and then it'll curve on this side again. And that will sit on top of everything, kind of give it like a Capitol building look, if that's what you want to call it, but it's a bird cage. So yeah, other thing I did, this is going to be a quick one because it is Sunday and I plan on leaving. So, other thing I did, made it official. It is an Escalade with a Duramax diesel. I've been driving it for a week today, actually. And the only issue I've had is the starter solenoid. The trigger wire, like on the starter, where the trigger wire bolts onto the solenoid, is like loose on the solenoid. So every once in a while the key doesn't work. I thought it was the fuse box, but it's not. It's actually the starter itself. So I ordered a starter. I'm going to throw that in. I actually haven't even ran the fans, which is kind of funny. You can see they're unplugged. That's the plug and it goes on the sensor. I actually left it unplugged because they'll run and the thing will never get to like 200, roughly gets like 200, 195, somewhere around there. And when I shut it off and walk away, the fans stay running. So the trigger wire is like a double battery, whereas it needs to be a 12 volt so that the fans shut off when I turn the key off. But other than that, and a totally scabbed tire because she's a one-wheel peel right now. Oh shit. And there it is. She gonna go. Yep, yep, yep. She's about to give birth. So that's not good. But I got tires coming. But I may end up switching out. I remembered that my 56 in the back, I have the Escalade wheels, so I could just snatch one off temporarily for now. Or two, and put them on the back for now. But I got tires coming. We'll see. I also ordered the screen for it, which is going to be sick. I found a company that makes a very particular screen that works in ways most other like kind of standalone screens don't work. So as soon as I get Jesse's car off the lift, and get that on the ground, I can pull it out or get it running basically, which there's not a lot to get it running. But once I get it sorted out, get it on the ground, probably finished actually and out of here, then I will get the Escalade on the lift. I got to trace something. So it doesn't have fuel gauge right now, which is because I put the van sending unit in the Escalade tank. So the tank bolts right back up in place. The sending unit fits just how the Escalade sending unit fit, but it doesn't have the internal pump. But it has huge lines to it that aren't being used because I use the sump on the bottom of the tank. So, but I left last Sunday. I put, I think, like $25 in the tank. Got home, drove Monday, Tuesday. I put $45 in the tank. So roughly $5 a gallon. You're at 13 gallons. And meanwhile, I'm driving it back and forth. Wednesday, I swore I would not have fuel in that tank. So I pulled up to the gas station and put, I think it was $27 in it, so roughly 5 gallons, and it completely poured out the top of the tank. So something's open on the top of the tank that I have to cap off, and that made it, it's my fault, but it was kind of in a rush to do it. But the only other issue, knock on wood, other than she's clackety, like much vibrating stuff. So the original filler neck, if you ever look inside your gas cap, it has like a panel with a little trap door, and the diesel nozzle would not go through the trap door. So I was constantly having to shove something in to open the door to get the diesel to go down. It would take forever. That's why I never really filled it. I just put a couple dollars here and there. But I took this off, took just this metal filler neck off the rubber hose, and you can kind of see in there the skank where I cut it, knocked that piece out, and then welded it back together. So now the diesel filler goes all the way in. Got like, that's annoying as hell. I did end up changing out the headlight bulbs. One of them was bad, so I changed out both of them. And there's something else rattling. I don't know what it is. Honestly, I don't really care too much, but it's annoying. So I'm gonna find it, and I have to adjust the steering box, but I'm gonna do that after I get the tires, get an alignment. Then I will adjust the steering box a little bit. It was a new box years ago that I put in, and then it kind of seated the gears. Somebody had told me the gears will seat on a new box, whereas a remanufactured box, the gears are already kind of beat up to a point. I don't know if this is true, but so the new boxes, the gears, once they seat each other, then you have to give them a slight adjustment. And I did go on, I don't remember whose box that is, but I did go on there, and they did say like 10,000 miles or 20,000. I don't remember what it was because way back, that you had to slightly adjust it, and professionals only. So basically what I'm going to do is take an Allen wrench, crack it, drive it, and wait until I feel the steering is tight. But like I said, I want to wait till I get the new tires, get the alignment. Screen's coming for it. Starter's coming for it. I did change the oil. Imagine that. Change the oil. And I didn't use super cheap oil. I used kind of just cheap oil. So it's way better. What else? Oh, we got a bunch of parts for project coming up. Basically a cam swap and tune on a really nice car. like surprisingly has like almost no miles on it. So that one will be coming up pretty soon. Got to get Jesse's car out of here. I don't remember what else. A lot. We got a lot going on. But appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified. Leave me a comment if you want us to do some work for you. Full build, roll cage, block. Oh, there it is. Roll cage. Sean, we are going to do your roll cage. I figured out what's going on with the software and made the corrections in the software, and then there's a simulator in the software that you can run, and basically what I came up with is just basically adding a bunch of numbers to give me my heights that I need, or my dimensions that I need. So I should be able to run the software to bend the tubing. It should make life a lot easier. I just have to make sure I add the numbers I need to add. But yeah, like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified. Appreciate you watching. Have a good day.